Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles. And in this week's news, Wei Ming looks at another location in Oxford and see who's celebrating 54 years of marriage.
Stay tuned and learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. Will it ever be built? Last week, the China-based group Wei Ming submitted yet another site plan to Oxford Township's planning commissioners. Last month, Wei Ming submitted and was approved on a site plan for building a 55,000 square foot two-story building. The structure is to be built on a 3-acre plot just south of the Myers location. Although the plan was approved, the commissioners did attach a number of conditions, which included lack of parking concerns. It appears this concern sent Wei Ming in search of a bigger tract of land, which they found on North Oxford Road just south of the high school. The newest proposal is to construct a 4-story, nearly 60,000 square foot building on 5 acres just south of the high school football stadium. The property is currently owned by Burton Katzman Developers, as was the previous proposed site. According to Wei Ming representatives, this location will meet conditions required by the Township Planning Commission.
Not everybody in Oxford is happy with how the Wei Ming contracts are written, and a group of Oxford citizens calling themselves Team 20 are looking for more answers. The group, coordinated by Callie Rosner-Meyer, would like greater exposure of the terms and conditions embedded within the Wei Ming contract. The group is demanding assessment of the 20-year agreement's impact on Oxford and its residents. Transparency and accountability by administrators and school board are the primary aim of the group. The action group is asking the school board to call a public special meeting to discuss these items and others that may satisfy concerns of the group. Stay tuned to John Oetjens, our own Oxford Television Schooling Around next week, as he had Deputy Superintendent Tim Throne in our studios addressing the list of concerns that the team is presenting to the public.
Be on the lookout for license plate thieves, as an Oxford resident reported her vehicle's plate was stolen. She could not, however, provide police with a description of the plate thief, so he's out there somewheres.
Here's another reminder to be very wary of items bought on Craigslist. Last week, an Oxford woman bought a cell phone for $100 and then found it to be inactivable, which means the telephone company couldn't start it up again. According to the police, her only resource is to appeal to the Craigslist seller to get her money back. There's little wonder how that might turn out for her.
And with the weather warming, make sure that you're mindful of your neighbors. Last week, police were called to an Oxford neighborhood on a complaint of a loud, ongoing party. A citation was issued to the homeowner, so this is just a reminder to please be respectful of your neighbors.
Again, we're here to remind everyone to be very watchful of your mail and your income tax information. An Oxford couple discovered that someone filed a false tax form with their IRS name. The IRS, however, did catch the inconsistencies in the return and notified the couple, and a false claim was filed.
An Oxford 7 moviegoer left the movie without more than just the cost of the ticket. Leaving the theater, the man discovered his wallet, credit cards, and other personal items were missing. Shortly thereafter, he was notified by local bank that someone attempted to charge $200 on his credit card. The bank denied the charge and filed a police report for possible future action.
A group of veterans who served in the U.S. Armed Forces during the Vietnam conflict spent a day at the Oxford High School sharing their experiences with Oxford High School U.S. History class students. Veterans from the Oxford American Legion Post 108, Mike Ledford, Jim Parkhurst, and Rick Moorhead described what it was like to be 18 or 19 years old and thrust into a violent foreign land. They shared with students their serious problems faced by soldiers when they returned home, such as postpartum depression or post-traumatic stress disorder, alcoholism, drug addiction, and homelessness. However, their passion and pride for their country has never dulled with time.
Happy 54th wedding anniversary to Oxford resident Joe Bullen and his beautiful wife Lynette. Joe coached the Oxford Christian Academy basketball team for 24 years and the Lake Orion Baptist School team for 9 years. Joe is remembered as one of Oxford's most interesting citizens and good people. He belongs to the Oxford Rotary Club, former Oxford Village Council President, and currently serves as the chairman of the Oxford Village Zoning Board of Appeals. If you know Joe, as many of you do, you know his wife Lynette has a lifetime project keeping Joe in line. Joe and Lynette Bullen, for your special occasion, congratulations from all of us from OCTV. Wow, that's pretty nice, huh?
Yeah, good for them. And they have been the face of Oxford for years and years. In fact, I was just thinking, have they been the Grand Marshal of the parade yet? Joe is involved in everything, and usually to make things better. He's, you know, just front and center.
As you know, I'm fairly new here, so he may have, I don't know, he's, as you know, very, very active, you know, in the community.
Yeah, he
so,
is. We'll just have to check that out.
They're just really nice people.
If he hasn't, hint, hint to the chamber.
Right, absolutely. Speaking of nice people, Addison Township had a unique situation where a business person that has his business in Lake Orion donated materials and labor to do the new roof for the community center that they're going to be building, or the administrative building.
Saving them a lot of money, and he is an Addison Township resident, I understand.
His name is Dan Davis. He's a very shy guy. He really didn't want to take any acknowledgement that he had done this.
Isn't that something?
And everybody has found out about it. So we're letting you folks know out there. If you see Dan Davis in Addison Township,
shake his hand.
And say thank you very much.
And Bruce mentioned in the article that community, when something is needed, somebody always steps up, and this is a prime example of that. They do help each other in that community a lot, which is really nice, and it saved them $80,000.
Well, here's the other thing. You know that that building leaks right now. Every time it rains, it pours inside. And Mr. Davis said, well, I will repair it until you get the construction work finished and ready for the new roof. So that's really extra.
Citizen
Very well
of
done.
the Year, I'll tell you, out there. And Addison Township has good things going out there. Speaking of that, I can't let this go. There's a vote out there in Addison Township that we're just asking. It's the NODA issue is going to be back on their ballot. All I'm asking, and all of the community asks, is people get out there and vote. Regardless of what their vote is going to be, if they speak for a third time, you know, all done. But they just need to get out and vote. They had a low count last 2 times. So
I know this is dear to your
important.
heart, so that's very nice. So
It is.
to mention it, get out there and vote.
Because I care about the people out there that can't get around. But speaking of voting, Brad Jacobson will be in here in our studios this week, so you'll see another week or so prior to us having to go to elections. But he's going to come in and talk about that Proposal 1 and really what that gas tax will do or not do for us. So. I'm excited.
Those potholes will remain. Will they ever go away? I don't know.
Well,
He'll let us
he's going to clarify all the attached items to that. Brad Jacobson, our state representative, very important to this community.
Yep.
So.
Very good.
That's it for Oxford News this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories or others, stop by your local store and pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper, or better yet, catch us right here on OCTV Charter Channel 191 and AT&T Channel 99.
And coming up next on OCTV, tune in for Oxford Local Sports, then catch Oxford School News with John Oetjens. After that, join us with Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Terry Stiles, and this is Oxford News This Week, where your news is closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, at last, a ray of hope for people with Alzheimer's disease. In a field where almost all clinical trials of new drugs fail, a drug called aducanumab appears to be bucking the trend. In a small trial, the drug slowed the progression of the disease and reduced deposits of amyloid plaques, the substances blamed for damaging the brains of people with Alzheimer's. This is the first time a drug has had a statistically significant effect on both cognition and amyloid in people with mild disease, says Alfred Sandrock of Biogen, the firm that developed aducanumab based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The drug, an antibody discovered by screening blood from healthy older people and people with Alzheimer's where it's stable, targets and clears amyloid proteins from the brain. Of the 166 people in the trial, 54 received a placebo, with the rest divided into groups receiving different doses of the drug once every 4 weeks. Scans showed that there was virtually no change in the amount of plaque in the placebo recipients' brains. For people taking the antibody, the higher the dosage, the more plaque was cleared. Likewise, patients' memory loss, judgment, and other symptoms of cognitive decline deteriorated slower than the drug that they received. The more drug that they received, that is. The cognitive benefits are unusually robust for a study of this size and duration, says Eric Karen of Alzheimer's Research in the UK. But Karen warns the results should be treated with caution. Several participants pulled out because of side effects or lack of perceived benefits, showing, that is to say, skewing the results towards success. Plus, other drugs that initially looked promising have gone on to fail in later trials, he says. The firm, which presented its results at an Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease conference in Nice, France, says that it now plans to carry out a much larger trial, and best of luck with that. In our next story, well, it sounds like a low-budget B movie, but the two most destructive termite species have interbred to form a super race. The Formosan and Asian subterranean termites native to East Asia are now a widespread invasive species causing billions of dollars of damage annually. Their ranges rarely overlap, and where they do, such as in southern Florida, they have bred at different times of year. But Thomas Chovenk at the University of Florida in Fort Lauderdale noticed that breeding swarms had begun to form at the same time with many cross-species pairs. What's more, these mixed pairs founded viable colonies in the lab and churned out offspring twice as fast as the parent species. If it grows that fast, it can make damage that much faster too, says Chovenk. So protect your houses. In our next story, white on top, but what lies beneath? Antarctic's blanket of snow and ice sits atop a vast and rich landscape of volcanoes, rivers, and lakes. Results from the first expedition to sample the sediment beneath the ice are revealing how the remnants of ancient forests are fueling the communities that live there today. Lake Willans sits nearly 1 kilometer of ice below West Antarctica, and despite its heavy frozen lid, it's full of liquid water. In January 2013, a U.S. team drilled through the ice and sampled the lake's water and the sediment beneath. The sediment contained microfossils of marine organisms and fossilized pollen from beech trees and conifers. Sławek Tulecek of the University of California in Santa Cruz told a meeting of subglacial Antarctic lakes held at Chechley Hall near London last week. The pollen dates back to before 34 million years ago, at a time when Antarctica was a collection of lush forested islands separated by salty fjords. Both are providing much-needed nutrients to a completely different community that are now occupying the area. The water samples from the lake revealed a thriving microbial community that was living in the pitch dark and at huge pressures and low temperatures. I like to think that the long-dead life from a much happier time is now feeding the modern microbial ecosystem, says Tulecek. The team have found bigger things too. In January, they drilled down to a nearby subglacial beach and found that they were stunned to find fish and living crustaceans in the dark. Ross Powell of Northern Illinois University says they have evidence the fish are stressed and struggling to survive, probably because they are starved of nutrients. They may have fled an even worse environment and could be early pioneers of a new subglacial world. Nor is everything beneath the ice cap ice cold. Previous expeditions have revealed seething volcanoes and ones that erupted in the last couple of millennia, punching large holes in the ice cap. Tulecek dropped thermometers into the lake bed at Willans and measured the geothermal activity. We found a huge heat flux typical of places like Yellowstone, he says, adding that the region could be sitting on top of a geothermal hotspot. That raises the possibility that there may be hydrothermal vents down there, and we know what they support. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
I'm John Oetjens, and welcome to the Oxford Wildcats School Update. With Easter break done and everyone back, it's time for M-STEP. That stands for Michigan Student Test of Educational Progress, and it starts this week. The test is designed to measure student growth in English, language arts, and math in grades 3 through 8, science in grades 4 and 7, and social studies in grades 5 and 8. It also includes the Michigan Merit Exam in the 11th grade. That consists of the old ACT, plus writing, work keys, and the M-STEP version of the English language arts, math, science, and social studies as well. One of the high points of this is that it must be taken online. It's possible to use pencil and paper, but only with a special waiver. Assistant Superintendent of Instruction Ken Weaver comments.
Yeah, you had to apply for a waiver, and you know, it's one of those things that we had to look at our own readiness to be able to give the test to the students online. We felt we were ready, even though we didn't have a device to go one-to-one for every student. We felt we could set up enough of a rotating schedule to be able to test them. Plus, you get your results in a little bit of a quicker time frame. So that is tempting to be able to get that information back a little quicker. We're supposed to have some rough results, they say, within about 2 weeks, and when we come back, or everyone else comes back in August, we should have our results right around that time.
That's Oxford Assistant Superintendent of Instruction Ken Weaver. It was awards time at the final March Oxford Board of Education meeting. First, there was the Teacher of the Year nominations. Every year, Oakland County Outstanding Teacher of the Year awards are presented to teachers who have achieved excellence in their profession. This year, our nominations are Matt Robidek, a 5th grade teacher at Oxford Elementary, Rebecca Zavalkink, a 6th grade teacher at the middle school, and Lori Lavins, a special ed teacher at the high school. Next came the Betty Campion Award nominees. This is for the distinguished service of support people in Oakland County. Our nominees include Charlene Murphy, a para-educator at the middle school, Kim McIsaac, a para-pro at the high school, Noon and Aid and Peggy Richards from Daniel Axford, Noon Aid Crossing Guard Connie Burke from Clear Lake, and Tutorial Assistant Diane Semick from Lakeville. The Oxford Rotary Club donated $1,000 to the Crossroads for Youth Book Club. Literacy is Rotary's focus this year. The Crossroads for Youth School is part of the Oxford School District. It includes kids from 6th through 12th grades. The Wei Ming organization has submitted a new site plan for its proposed international dormitory. This one calls for a 4-story dorm with classrooms just over 58,000 square feet on a 5-acre site just south of the football stadium on the west side of North Oxford Road. Last month, the Township Planning Commission voted 4-3, granting preliminary approval for a 2-story dorm on just under 3 acres of land on Market Street. There's a laundry list of requirements to be met with that one, however. Stephen Auger, owner of Stephen Auger and Associates Architects, says both sites are still in play. Both are still under negotiation as far as purchase price and when they can be ready for construction. Auger says the 5-acre site is preferable. Thanks to the Oxford Leader for photos on those pieces. That's the Oxford School News for this week. This is Oxford Community Television, keeping it local.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, General Motors is considering a major investment in its technical center in Warren, Michigan that would include new buildings, renovations, and additional jobs. The automaker is working with the city of Warren to secure tax incentives. Then the proposal will move to GM senior management for approval, GM officials say. It's something we're seriously looking at, and it's still in the review process, GM spokesman Dan Flores said. It's not a done deal. GM also anticipates additional manpower needs with the long-term plan, Flores said. Flores would not disclose financial details or the number of potential new jobs, but the Detroit News reported that the automaker would spend hundreds of millions of dollars and could add as many as 2,000 jobs at the site. If GM leadership approves, it would be a multi-year construction project, Flores said. Flores said that the investment would make the tech center, which includes a vehicle engineering center, design center, and R&D activities, an attractive workplace for current employees and future talent that we bring into the company. The tech center has an estimated 15,000 to 20,000 GM workers, he said. GM is also considering a $1.3 billion expansion to its Arlington, Texas assembly plant. The plant produces the Cadillac Escalade and Escalade SEV, Chevrolet Tahoe and Suburban, and GMC Yukon and Yukon XL. And still at GM, General Motors will halt production of the 2015 Chevrolet Volt at the end of May to reduce U.S. stockpiles to prepare to start building a redesigned version of the plug-in hybrid late this summer. The suspension in production is a result of a multitude of factors such as lower than expected sales, factory renovations, and engineering changes, GM spokeswoman Michelle Malcho said. GM builds the Volt at its Detroit Hamtramck plant. The factory is expected to continue producing the Chevrolet Malibu, Chevrolet Impala, Cadillac ELR, and Opel Ampera while Volt output goes on hiatus. Production of the Cadillac CT6 luxury sedan is slated to begin at the plant later this year after Volt output resumes. Chevrolet introduced the redesigned second-generation Volt at the Detroit Auto Show in January. The 2016 model has a new 1.5-liter engine compared with a 1.4-liter engine in the first-generation model. The next Volt will also have a larger but more powerful gasoline engine and smaller but more powerful battery pack with an electric driving range of 50 miles on the initial charge, up from 38 on the 2015 model. GM wants to offer two 2016 Volt options, a standard edition and a low-cost edition. The price of the standard Volt will be comparable to the current model's price tag, just under $35,000, and it will have a range of up to 380 miles. The lower-cost edition would be priced from just around over $30,000 and would likely generate a range of less than 300 miles. And at Nissan Motor Company will offer automatic braking as a standard feature in all volume cars in Japan by autumn, starting with the hybrid X-Trail SUV. Emergency braking and other pre-crash safety features once found only in high-end models are growing in importance for consumers in developed markets, making them a hot new battleground for automakers. Toyota Motor Corporation has rolled out its first car featuring its latest technology that uses radar sensors and cameras to automatically brake the car in danger of collision and keep it from drifting out of its lane. Toyota has said it would offer the safety packages either as an option or standard feature on almost all passenger cars in Japan, North America, and Europe by the end of 2017. And on the legal front, the death toll from General Motors' defective ignition switch has risen to 80, according to a lawyer hired to review and approve victims' claims. The office of lawyer Kenneth Feiberg, who is overseeing victim compensation on GM's behalf, has approved 80 death claims and 148 injury claims as of April 3rd. The 148 injury claims are a combination of claims for serious injuries and claims for less severe injuries. The deadline for victims to file claims was January 31st. The faulty switches can move to accessory mode or off, disabling the vehicle's airbag in the event of a crash. GM originally said it knew of 13 deaths linked to the defect. A person seeking compensation must prove that the airbag did not deploy and must show that the defective switch was the primary factor in the crash. Feinberg's office says 228 of 4,342 claims have been ruled eligible and 1,246 claims are still under review. GM estimates that it will pay out $400 million to $600 million to compensate victims under the program. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to your weekly calendar of events where we feature your local Oxford and Addison community events, including charity special fundraisers and general community information. Now, if you or your organization would like help to get your message out to the public, contact us for detailed information at our studio phone number at 248-628-9658, or you can go to our website at OCCTV.org. Applications are still available for Oxford High School juniors who want to spend some of their summer vacation exploring what it's like to be in the public, be a public official, and who make laws, and police officers who enforce them. For Boys State, Girls State, and Student Trooper programs, just pick up a necessary form at your Oxford High School counseling office. This program is brought to you by the local Oxford American Legion Post 108. All Oxford High School students who plan to attend college, the Oxford Lions Club is offering a $500 scholarship for student seniors who reside in Oxford School District. To be eligible, you must be attending public school, private school, or be homeschooled. You must have at least a 2.0 grade average and plan to attend either a 2 or 4 year college or trade school. Pick up the application at either the Oxford Public Library or at the Oxford High School office. You have until Friday, April 24th to apply. Good luck. Adopt a pet. Pet Dog Adoption Day is held every second Saturday of every month from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Pet Stuff Harvest Time in Oxford, corner of Drainer Road and M24. Canine Rescue has lots of loving pets available, and they're just waiting for your love. To check the Canine Stray Rescue League's website and view pictures of pets for adoption, go to www.dogsaver.org. Bikers giving bikes. If you have a bicycle you no longer need or have outgrown, why not donate it to the Oxford American Legion program? Bikers giving bikes, or if you have a child who would like a bike but you just can't afford to purchase one, Bikers Giving Bikes have refurbished bikes of all sizes. For more information, contact Mr. Sargent at 248-628-9081 at the American Legion Building in Oxford. Wednesday, April 15th, 7 to 9 p.m. at the Oxford High School Performing Arts Building. Enjoy Oxford's Got Talent, when high school and middle school students will compete to be the top performer of the night. Admissions is only $5. Proceeds go to the benefit various Oxford High School functions and activities. For more information, go to their website, oxfordsgottalent2015@gmail.com. If you represent an organization wishing to show your support for our local Oxford school sports, music concerts, or any of the many programs broadcast by our TV station, you could become a sponsor or an underwriter of our OCTV station. A promotional television spot would be created and recognition would be given to you by our sports announcers during the event. It's easy and it's quite inexpensive. For more information, contact our TV station manager, Bill Service, at 248-628-9658, or you can send a message of interest to Bill's email address, manager@occtv.org. Now, we at Oxford Community TV would like our television viewing public to learn more about your club or organization's special upcoming event or charity. So, if you would like to get your special event mentioned on our television show, call us at 248-628-9658 or go to our website at OCCTV.org. Just one final reminder, you can locate our OCTV program schedule by going to our website, OCCTV.org, and clicking on Schedule. There, you will find a list of OCTV broadcast programs, dates, and times. One program I recommend is Bill Service, who always has interesting local stories and interviews on our Community Access program. Just check it out. This is Oxford Community Television, OCTV. I'm your host, Elgin Nichols. We invite you to join us again for the next segment of your weekly calendar of events.
Hi, my name is Lauren Sugden, and I'm a senior attending Rochester College. If you're a mass communication student studying the video arts like I am, come and intern at OCTV. Why, you may ask? Because OCTV not only offers the best hands-on training with experienced professionals in the field, but interns get the opportunity to relearn past skills or gain new knowledge, and especially to work with such a warm and welcoming team. So, if you or someone you know are interested in a great interning experience, give us a call at 248-628-9658 or send an email to manager@occtv.org to find out more.
This is OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford and Addison Townships with the best in local programming. On Charter Channel 191, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and our website, occtv.org.